Hello, everybody. I am Morthodon, and I am here for a little bit different of a video. Just so you guys know that I just want to talk about my channel a little bit. Don't worry, nothing's changing. It's all good stuff and just a little bit of talking about my plans and everything, and I have my good reasons. But before we get started, I want to point out that I don't have a script. I didn't really make any talking points, so if I'm saying and pausing every now and then, that's just because, like I said, I didn't make a script. So I feel like it's a lot more personal if I can make a video where I just talk to you guys here and there without having things planned out, and which is pretty much how I do all my reactions. I don't Every now and then I'll think of oh, I should say this at the beginning, and then I plan on that, but I never really come up with a script or anything. So I kind of want to keep that trend going even for videos like this where it's not a reaction and stuff like that. So basically, I've just sometimes the way I do my content is I always record on the same days, almost always, unless there's something that causes me to need to record on a different day or something, which does happen occasionally, but sometimes I get into this rhythm and it gets so not repetitive. What's the right word? I guess I don't know the exact right word. It's like I get on a cycle, and I repeat that cycle week by week, and I start to feel a little disconnected just because I start to go into an autopilot kind of mode. I guess the best way I can describe it is, have you guys ever had that experience when you're driving and you go from point A to point B, and when you get to point B, you're like, I don't even remember half of what I did. I've had those moments, and I think I've heard other people mention it, where you're just like, I don't even remember turning down this road and turning down this other road just because you're so used to doing it. And every now and then I get that way with my YouTube videos, and it's not necessarily a bad thing. And I don't really want to put a bad note on that, because that just means I'm getting more comfortable and, better at doing these videos and everything, which is my goal, is to become better, more proficient, less ums and pauses and gaps in my talking and everything, which is the goal. I don't want to sound like a bumbling idiot the whole time. But that being said, I also sometimes feel like by going into this autopilot mode, I get a little more disconnected from you guys. And every now and then I try to think of different kind of videos I could do to try to spice things up, and just kind of talk to you guys. So I know a lot of you probably won't watch this video. Some of you might put it on for a few seconds and, you don't even watch it all the way through. I do that too with a lot of my favorite, people that I enjoy watching. I'll only watch a minute or two of content like this, even though this isn't really quite content. This is just me talking, But I guess that's just how I'm feeling. So I just wanted to take a few minutes to talk to you guys, and talk about what I'm thinking for my channel, and discuss it with you guys and see what you guys think as well, because I'd love to hear from you guys and all that. So I suppose the first thing and biggest thing I want to mention, because there's a couple other smaller things, but this probably won't even take too long, is one thing I kind of made a mistake of when I have been picking my shows is I made the mistake of starting two very long-running shows, which I don't plan on making any changes. I'm gonna keep doing these shows, but I feel like having two long-running shows has kind of hurt me in a sense, because I think getting more content out is one of the best ways to expand this channel. And by that, I mean having more shows to offer, you know? So that way, you know, someone might be looking for reactions to, I guess, like, Attack on Titan, which I haven't done yet, and I plan to do. But the problem is I only have technically 2 slots open right now where the shows will potentially end, and that is Reincarnated as a Slime, which is 24 episodes. It's actually 24 and a half and an OAD, which I noticed. I don't know what the .5 and the OAD are about, but I'll probably watch them anyway and have a reaction for them. And then I have My Hero Academia, which I'm doing as well as a rewatch right now, but eventually that slot where that rewatch is going to turn into a reaction slot, just because at some point I'm going to catch up to where I last saw in Season 3, part of the way through, and I'm going to eventually start doing reactions on Wednesdays. And so that leaves 2 slots I have for really long-running shows, and 2 slots for just cycling out newer and, you know, not necessarily newer, but, you know, shorter shows. And that's kind of, I feel like I did, like, bleh, wow. Like I said when I started this little bit, I think cycling through those shorter shows might be one of the best ways to bring views, and I may be completely wrong about that, but to grow the community, I feel like you need to have, like, broad horizons, right? Like, I guess what I started saying before was, someone might go and look for Attack on Titan, and they're not going to see that reaction from me, but if I had those, you know, extra slots to be able to do stuff like that, they might find Attack on Titan, and then they might find my other shows and stick around for those as well, you know? And just, I've always thought, you know, it's kind of like having, like, Netflix has a big library of shows, and that's what draws in the crowd. And not that I ever want to even try to be like Netflix, I was just using it as an example, but I have always wanted that, you know. I've always wanted to have, like, I go on some of these channels, like, that I watch, because I watch a lot of reactions. That's how I started this whole thing. I don't know if you guys know. It wasn't just something where I'm like, oh, reaction videos, yeah, let's do it, you know. Like, it was for probably, it wasn't super long. I'm sure a lot of you have been watching reactions far longer than I have, but I discovered watching anime reactions, and I got into some other, like, live action shows and stuff like that probably about 6 months to a year prior to when I started my channel, which was well over a year at this point. And I started binging, like, a lot of their reactions, and I think that started with My Hero, because My Hero is one of those shows that I love so much, and I feel like reactions are kind of one of those things that you, at least for me, I go to watch a reaction to validate how I feel about a show, you know? So when I watch a really good episode of My Hero Academia, I'm like, this show's so good. What do other people think about this show, you know? And that led me to reactions, and I couldn't really tell you how I first discovered reactions. Like, I feel like I was probably just browsing YouTube, and I think one of those, like, group compilation reactions of, like, one scene from shows popped up on my recommendations, and I watched it, and then I got some other recommendations, and I ended up finding channels like Blind Wave and Semblance of Sanity and Normies, and I started watching, like, every single one of their videos for every single show that I have seen, pretty much. And I was just like, this is so much fun, and this is so much cool, and that, so much cool. Wow, that was terrible. It, so much fun and so cool is what I meant to say. And so that's what really drove me to starting reactions myself. I was like, these guys can release this content that can make me so happy. I wonder if I could release content like that that could make other people happy as well. And that's what I strive to do. But getting back to the original point is all these channels I go on, they've been going for a long time, a lot longer than I have. And so they have all of these shows, and it was so much fun being able to be like, oh, I started watching this channel because of their, My Hero reactions, but now I've just gone to their playlist section, and I'm like, oh, I'll watch that show too. And then, I'm always finding like different shows in their playlist that I can watch, and I've even gone back and rewatched some of them just because they're fun to watch and everything. So that's what I hope to have eventually, and that's why I kind of regret starting 2 long shows, because that just leaves 2 slots. I'd prefer if I just had Boruto running, honestly, which is what I started the channel on, and I could have 3 slots available for shorter running shows, to kind of fill out the channel with some extra content and everything. And I might open up a 5th slot eventually, possibly when I catch up on My Hero. I've been mulling it over. We're gonna see how it feels, because right now I spend the way I do my Hero rewatch stuff. I do 4 episodes a week, if you haven't noticed, and for me personally, like, the way I do it behind the scenes is I record 2 episodes one day and 2 episodes another day, and I could bring that down to one day when I start doing the reactions, where I record and edit, just like a lot of my other shows where I record and edit that same night, and that would leave that other day still open. And I thought about just having another day off, but I also thought about I could open a 5th slot, and that would give me another short-running show, considering I started Fairy Tail now, which is my second long-running show. And, well, the thing is I didn't really plan on Fairy Tail being long-running. When they came back for their final season, I assumed that it wasn't going to be that long. But so far, there's no end in sight. I don't want to get spoiled, so I haven't looked up how many episodes are supposed to be in it, if they've even said, I have no idea if they have or not. So, really, for all I know, that could be running as long as Boruto, and that's just going to be like a permanent aspect of my channel, where every week for, how many years I'm going to be doing that. But I guess if I can manage to open a 5th slot, I think that would be pretty good, because that would give me 2 long-running shows and then 3 shorter shows going at all times, which would be really cool. And then also, I guess keep that in mind if you guys recommend a long-running show and it doesn't get picked. That's why. For instance, I got recommended to watch, I believe it's called Black Clover, and I know that's a long-running one. I think it's even still airing, if I'm not mistaken. I think it's still airing, which I want to watch it eventually. That was one that has always, like, whenever I'm looking through, like, new anime to watch, I see it and I'm like, someday, So I'm thinking maybe when I flush out my channel better, I may have actual, like, meaning behind my slots, Like, I know some channels I see do, like, Mondays is when they do, I guess, romantic shows, and Tuesdays when they do, like, action shows, or they have different themes, or they have, like, another day of the week where it's, like, someone's pick, like someone from the channel, Um, I guess to just throw some names out there, Semblance of Sanity is one that I watch, and I'm not sure if they do this, but I know they have different themes to their days, and they could have one that's like Jacob's pick, you know, and that's where Jacob picks a show rather than having the audience vote for it, which is also another thing I hope to have eventually as the community grows and we get more people to the channel. I hope to do voting to decide the shows. But if I could keep the days to a certain theme, that would help me narrow down what shows to put on the polls and everything to replace certain slots, you know? But that was just one of my things, you know. I want to try to keep enough slots open for shorter running shows to fill out my channel with, you know, enough variety so that way hopefully I have something that everybody likes, you know. That everybody can find entertaining to watch on the channel and all that, and maybe that will help them, you know, ease them into some of my other content and everything. But that was the main thing I wanted to talk about, is having possibly different themes for my days, which, you know, this is all just theory at this point. I don't know what I'd do for themes. Like, I mean, the best theme I could come up with is if I want to keep one in the future, like distant future, whenever Fairy Tail ends, if I want to keep one long running slot, then that could be Thursdays for my Boruto, and Thursdays could just be my long running shows. Whenever Boruto ends, I'll replace Boruto with another long running show, is essentially what I mean. But I'm not sure what I do for the other themes. I've thought about that fifth slot that I mentioned. I thought about keeping it to be a show that I personally want to watch, which technically is how I do all of my shows at the moment, because there's just the few of you guys that I talk to are awesome, but at this point it is only a few, so I feel like it'd be kind of weird to do voting yet, just because the fact that having a voting poll where only, like, you know, I have a very glass half empty is a better way to put it, view on how many people I'd get to vote if I did do voting. I feel like I'd only get like one or two people, maybe three, that would actually vote, and then it'd be like kind of weird only having three votes, you know, not that those three votes wouldn't matter or anything. But so I've just been picking shows that I want to watch. But eventually, when I started doing voting for polls, I thought about having that fifth slot that I've been considering opening be a show that I want to watch, and I just do it on occasions. Like, maybe I don't do it every single week, or maybe I do it every week, just because, you know, I'm having so much fun. But have it be something where I can upload it whenever, not have it set to a day, just have it be something fun and spontaneous that I randomly throw up there, you know? I haven't decided on that yet. That was just one of the things that I considered. You know, something like, I've been really wanting to watch Attack on Titan, and I planned on putting that in the either the Reincarnated as a Slime slot when that ends, or the My Hero rewatch slot when I finish catching up on that and I finish up season 3. But now that I know that, I saw, like, I didn't watch the trailer yet because I've been considering doing a reaction to it, but I got a little pop-up saying that the My Hero Academia Season 4 trailer is out. So that means that Season 4 is probably coming somewhat soon. I have no idea when that's planned. Once again, I haven't looked at any of that because I haven't finished Season 3 yet. That's what I'm working on the channel and everything. So, you know, that means that slot's probably going to be taken up by My Hero Season 4. Like, I might actually wait. When I finish Season 3, I might put that slot on pause until Season 4 comes, you know, or maybe I'll have a friend look up when it's supposed to be coming and see if they have an announcement yet. That way I can know without running into any spoilers when that's supposed to start, and then I can kind of plan it out to see if I have enough time to have like a 12 episode reaction put in there, because that's like 12 weeks, you know, or something like that. But yeah, that's my thought for those kind of just kind of like my slots and plans for their themes and all of that. And then I guess really the only other thing I have that I want to chat about is I still don't know if I'm gonna really end up doing it, but I've been considering making some gaming videos here and there again, as I can think of good content to do that isn't just like, you know, let's play this episode 1, let's play this episode 10, let's play this episode 5235, you know? If I can come up with some, like, somewhat unique content, even though it won't be, like, you know, it's very hard to come up with perfectly unique content these days on YouTube, just because I feel like everybody's done everything except for the super creative people that come up with some, like, really weird and obscure things, but I don't know what to do with those gaming videos if I were to make them. I'd like to throw them up on my main channel and just have my main channel be a source for all of these different things that people can come together and look at. But then another part of me thinks that maybe I shouldn't do that. Maybe I should do a separate gaming channel that people can stop by, so that way they're not getting a bunch of gaming videos on their feed, because I fear that if they start seeing like gaming videos on their feed, they're gonna be like, oh, this guy doesn't do reactions anymore, even though I still do, and then they're just gonna unsubscribe or something, you know? But that's kind of something I wanted you guys' opinion. What do you guys think? Do you guys like it, hate it, or are indifferent about it when a, you know, reaction channel that you guys watch has other content aside from reactions, you know? Like, I guess Blind Wave every now and then has some gaming stuff, and it never bothers me. I've even watched some of it, you know? And they throw that stuff up on their main channel. But then I'm pretty sure normies have a gaming channel. And some of the other channels I watch have a gaming channel as well. So I'm just kind of curious what you guys think, you know? If you stayed with me this long in this video, shoot me a comment and just let me know what your opinions are about that kind of concept. So I'd love to hear it, just because, you know, in the end, I am trying to keep you guys happy as well as myself happy, you know, because like I said before, this is a bit of a selfish thing as well, you know, like this is a hobby for me that I just enjoy doing, and I just hope that you guys enjoy the journey I take on some of these shows along with me, you know. So yeah. I guess that pretty much sums up the majority of what I had. I ended up talking quite a bit longer than I thought I would, but I think that's fine. Uh, I'm already happy about this video, and I haven't even ended making it yet, just because even if nobody watches it, I feel like I got a chance to talk to you guys, you know? And that feels pretty good. And, you know, it feels weird because I talk to you guys in all of my reactions and all of that, but I guess like I mentioned in the beginning, sometimes it just feels like it gets onto an autopilot kind of situation, and I think that's the biggest thing that causes me to get that feeling of, oh, I haven't been too chatty with my viewers recently. It's just because it gets so autopilot, you know? But anyway, guys, thank you for watching if you stuck it out with me until this point. I very much appreciate it. And I guess I will see you guys in the future. No, in my other reactions and everything. And I hope you guys enjoy these little talking bits that I'll probably do more videos like this every now and then, just talking about plans I have for the channel and stuff that is going on, you know, possibly even in my life. I might throw some personal stuff in there every now and then, because that always has a tie to my emotional state and all that stuff, I suppose. Like, I guess to end this video off now, with a little bit of a personal note, I guess, I don't really know how I want to word this, but my grandfather passed away a little less than a month ago, and then we had a memorial service actually yesterday, technically the day before because it's past midnight right now, so it's technically Monday. It was Saturday when we had the service. Uh, they waited a while because I believe it was just like so the majority of the family could be there. I think there was some family like out on vacation and stuff and couldn't make it right away, but yeah, my grandfather, great man, passed away, and so I meant to get ahead on some of my videos and release some extra stuff to Patreon and everything, but ever since he passed, I've just been kinda taking some days off, and then after the service yesterday, I was gonna, or Saturday, I was gonna try to, uh, record an episode last night, but it's not that I wasn't like super I wasn't like crying upset that night, but there was just something that felt wrong. Like, I felt like I should take that whole day, you know? But yeah, I just wanted to fill you guys in real quick at the end here, at the end of this video. That's one personal thing that's been going on, but he was a great man. The service we had was fantastic. He was always a partier. He, you know, every Christmas party we had, he'd be rocking out on his trombone and having a good time and drinking way more than he probably should and all that. And that's kind of how the service went. You know, we had like the sad stuff, the sad talking, but then we had some really surprisingly upbeat and not funeral like music for a large portion of the service, and everybody was perfectly okay with it just because that's how he lived his life, and I think he would have been very happy with the service we gave him. So rest in peace, Dr. Richard Brown, my grandfather, who I have always referred to as Grampy Brown. A great man, and he will be missed. So I just wanted to kind of dedicate this last bit of the episode to him. So once again, guys, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this little video, and I will see you in my coming reactions. Bye, guys.